This week's video is all about speaking up when you see somebody who's getting really beaten down by somebody else. This is a really difficult thing, and it can be very hard to know what to do or say because in some ways it feels like it's not your business. In some ways it might feel like you're kind of stirring the pot by saying something, especially if this is a stranger that you don't know very well. But this is something that actually happened to me yesterday, and I just felt like sharing it because I'm that person that believes that we should all be lifting each other up and that we should all be trying to get the world into a better place where people feel better supported and where people have the resources that they need. And I think that as a generation and as a culture, I see so many people working on themselves and trying to lift themselves up out of difficult situations. And I just cheer those people on with all my heart. I love to see people working on themselves. I love to see people putting in the hard work to undo past trauma, childhood trauma, generational trauma, get out of bad relationships, lift themselves up, give themselves a better life. I love it so much. And if there's anything that I can ever do to help somebody move in that direction, even if it's just a little bit, I want to do what I can. And hopefully the worst case scenario is that it just doesn't help. But the worst case scenario is not usually that there's a backlash from it. So without further ado, let's just get into what happened. I'll try to keep it short as to what happened, but I was at a patient's house. The patient was the husband, and his wife was also there. And when I came into the house, there was somebody who was out in the yard who had obviously been working very hard for a very long time, doing a lot of cutting up trees that had fallen and, getting them so where you could remove them off the property, and just really hard work. And I'm working with the patient, and this person came inside, and I find out that this is the patient's grandson, who I'm pretty sure they have been raising from a very young age. And I was so very frustrated when I realized how negative of an environment this was for this young boy. He looked like he was maybe 18, 19, something like that. And he was doing his best. And everything he was doing was being met with a lot of negativity. To give one example, I didn't notice it till later, and I only noticed it because it had been brought up, but he actually had a lot of problems with his teeth. He was already missing several teeth. A few of his teeth were already blacked out and rotted. And he had made a comment to his grandmother about being really proud of himself because he had signed up for dental insurance. And she was actually just berating him about this, that was basically the dumbest thing she'd ever heard because they just take your money anyway and they don't pay for everything anyway, and there's limits. And I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but I'm just trying to tell you, don't get your hopes up. And I'm over here thinking, this kid is he got a job, he got insurance. Yay him, like, good job. Why are you being so hateful? And then he came back in at another point and said, that the chainsaw that he had been working on needed to be serviced. Now, I'm not judging this person's house, but let me just say, this did not seem like the kind of person who put a lot of pride and effort and money into maintaining their belongings. The house was not just in shambles, but it was not well cared for, and most of the stuff in there did not look that well cared for. So when she made the comment, well, it was working just fine last time we were using it, how come it's not working now that you've used it? My feathers ruffled a little because I'm thinking, I'm sure it wasn't working just perfectly. I'm sure that it's, he's using this piece of equipment that probably hasn't been serviced in forever. He's trying to do all this yard work for you. He's telling you that the tools that he's using need that the motor on it needs to be looked at, and you're practically screaming at him for breaking your chainsaw. So I wasn't happy about that. And then he makes the comment that he was going to go spend some time with his girlfriend and spend the night with her. And she starts berating him about, well, so you're going to be gone for 2 days? And he was like, I'm just going to be gone for the 1 day and then I'm coming back. And she goes, well, who's going to take my trash out on Friday? Who's going to take care of that for me? I'm just going to have to sit here with all this trash everywhere. And he was like, I'll come back. I'll come back and I'll put it out for you. And she's like, not from a city that's about an hour away. You're not. And he was like, I will. I will drive back here and I'll put it out for you. And she was like, just put it out now. Just put it out now so I don't have to deal with it. It's fine. Whatever. And while you're out there, check the mail. Nobody's checked the mail today. And guys, on the inside, I just wanted to absolutely scream. I was so mad. I was so mad because you could just see on this kid's face just so much defeat. Just so much defeat that he'd been living in this his whole life, that it was just this all day, every day, that he's trying to do something good for himself and he's just getting met with negativity and sarcasm at every turn. And I just thought, please, 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 please tell me that this kid is going to still be outside when I wrap this visit up. Please let him not have left yet. And I finish up my visit. I wrap it up. I walk outside and he is still there. He was putting away some things in the shed that was on the property and just tidying up everything he'd been working on. And I went up to him and I said, I know it's not my place, but I just feel like somebody needs to tell you that you're doing a good job. Like, you're doing a good job right now. You're working hard. You're doing your best to help. I heard you say you got a new job. Like, that's amazing. I know that things are really difficult for you. I can tell that this is a really difficult situation, but like, you're doing really good. And I just feel like somebody ought to tell you that. And he got a little red in the face. You know, he was a little embarrassed because I was kind of bringing attention to this situation. And he was like, oh, well, you know, it's just how it is. I mean, it's just been that way my whole life. It's, you know, it's just how they are. Like, he didn't know what to say, because what do you say? What do you say to something like that? And I just said, well, I have people that I'm really close to that were raised by people like that. And I know what it does to a person on the inside. And I know how hard it is to get away from that when you're living in it 24/7. And I just hope that you can see that you're doing really good things. And I hope that you can emotionally distance yourself from these messages that you keep getting, because I mean, you are doing your best. And he was like, well, you know, the thing is, I mean, she helps me out with like money and stuff. And I mean, I know I should pay her back, and I'm trying, but I can't. I don't have any money to pay her back. And I mean, that's why I got this job at this tree cutting service. But she's really mad at me for that. She doesn't think that that's a good idea. And I was like, okay, first of all, you're trying to make a life for yourself. You're trying to get a job. You're trying to get stability. You're trying to get insurance. You are doing everything that you know how to do to make your life stable. And that's amazing. And you know, if she doesn't want to cut down trees, she doesn't have to cut down trees. But if you're willing to do that hard work, then that's amazing, because it is needed. It is needed for people to do that. I think that's great that you're doing that. But secondly, it's good that she's helping you financially if you need it. But that doesn't mean that she owns you as a person. She doesn't own you just because she's giving you money. And I just need you to know that. Like, she's not, it is nice that she's helping. And I think that it's great that you're doing your best to work around the house and to help her to try to, to try to have this be a give and take relationship. And I admire that. But she doesn't own you. You are not obligated to her every beck and call. You are not obligated to do every single thing for her that she can think of to put on a to-do list. And you don't owe it to her to just be here 24/7, to just work for her around the clock just because she's giving you money. You are trying to transition into your own independence right now, and that's fantastic. And the fact that she's helping you is great, and being grateful for it is great, and trying to help her when you can is great. But you don't owe her your life just because she's helping you. And he kind of took his hat off and did one of these and just said, it's been like a long number of years since I've had anybody say anything like that to me. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you. And I just thought, you guys know I'm a hugger. I didn't hug this kid, but I really wanted to. I just said, I think, was that your girlfriend that you were saying you were going to go spend some time with today? And he said, yeah. Or he said, yes, ma'am, because we're in the South. He said, yes, ma'am, it's my girlfriend. And I said, I really hope she treats you right, and I really hope you have a great time spending the day with her, and I hope that you're able to rest and relax. Just keep it up, okay? You're doing great, and I hope you have a great day. And I just got in my car and I left. But I just want to, when you see things like that, when you see people who are just being beaten down by life, that life's just kicking their butt, and everybody around them's just making it worse instead of better, I would encourage you to just say something. Don't let it go by unnoticed, because it's the people that quote, all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to stand by and do nothing. The people who get completely broken are the people who were passed by and passed by and passed by. People noticed it. People saw it. People see what's happening. People know it's not right. And every single person just keeps walking past them and never saying a word. And I would just encourage you to be the person who's willing to say something. You don't have to be Martin Luther King Jr. Like, you don't have to be able to give the best speeches heard on the earth. You don't have to be some inspiring speaker, but just telling somebody, I see how hard you're working and I think you're doing an awesome job. Please just keep it up. Please don't give up on what you're trying to do. I see you. You are seen. You are a valuable person. You have value, and what you're doing matters, and you matter. Just tell people what they need to hear. Like, please. That sort of thing, I see it too much, and it just always makes me so upset. And one of the things that I want to do with your conversation expert, the reason I started this company, the reason that I wrote my book, the reason that I have my course, is because I want people to be able to say the things that need to be said. I want people to feel more confident. I want people to be able to do the small talk. I want people to be able to go for what they want to go for in life, to personally be able to improve and achieve their own goals. But the thing that really drove me to create all of this, and the thing that continues to drive me every day, is helping to empower people to connect with other people and to inspire other people and to lift each other up and to lean in to those really hard conversations that you want to shy away from because you're not sure what to say. And that's where I come in. I'm here to help you learn the words to say so that you can lean in to difficult conversations instead of just being one more person that sees something difficult and knows that something needs to be done about it, but you don't feel comfortable or confident being that person. I want to help you be that person. So let me know the conversations that are difficult for you, the things that you want to be able to lean into. Please reach out to me and tell me what those things are, or drop it in the comments below. If you're not too shy to just put it in the comments. Put some hearts out here, put some loves, like this video, share this video, because guys, this has got to be fixed. I just want to see the world lifted up better, just better. We can be better. Kind, compassionate, connected. Those are the words that drive your conversation expert. I'm here for you. Let me know what you need. And if nobody's told you yet today, you matter and you're doing a great job. And I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. I'll see you next week.